So
Um,
since you're going into the NCAA champs next week, how's your training been going, and what can you predict from it?
yeah, training's been great. Um, at this point, there's not much you can do. This last couple of weeks is kind of just maintaining the fitness, but the last few months, or I guess ever since cross country season, training's been going well. Um, been staying injury free and I've been having some great workouts and been putting in the miles. So everything leading up to this race has been going as planned.
Uh, Um, what's your usual workout leading up to a big race or even a normal race?
Usual, what do you mean, like a week in advance or like the
Yeah,
week race?
like going into NCAA's and or like even just like a normal weekend event. How is your like intensity lowered, or do you like keep it the same heading into it?
Yeah, well, it depends on the race for sure. So I would say a non like big race, like a smaller race, usually the 2 weeks before is pretty tough and still hitting full mileage. And then the week of the race, um, usually all the runs are the same, and there's usually at least one hard workout. And then a couple of days before the race, I start to taper off and run less miles. But like for a race like this, like a big race like nationals, the last week and a half have been pretty easy. Just making sure I'm completely rested. We've had some workouts they're pretty tough, but they're really short. So um, just so I don't get too tired and don't wear myself out the week of the race. And then like to the leading up to like the couple of days before the race, it's really easy stuff. Just to keep my legs moving.
You're only running the 10K, yeah?
Yeah, just a 10.
So you have a PR of 28:52.70. Um,
Uh,
looking at the start list, though, you're
28,
only seated in
28,
third
48.
place, yeah.
Can you repeat that?
You're you're currently seated in third place for the 10K behind Edward Cheserek and this guy from Northern Arizona. So, do you think that you have anything left in the tank that will help you to bring home the gold or even the silver?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I feel like it all depends on the race, and it depends on how the race plays out. Um, I know Footsum from Northern Arizona and Edward Cheserek from Oregon are both really fit guys. Like Edward Cheserek is almost seen as unbeatable, and Footsum right now has ran a pretty fast 10K this season. So I think it's gonna really the strength I have is I might be a better racer than them, even though I might not be as fast. So I think it'll depend on the race and how it goes. I really don't know how it's gonna go, but um, yeah, just have to stick with them as long as I can, and it'll all play out.
Are you hoping for a more strategic race or more of a quicker race?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. It's I'm more of a fan of a more strategic race for sure, but at the same time, I hope it goes sort of quick. I feel like if it goes not too quick, but like a pretty quick pace, then a lot of the field could get dropped, and it could split up to a pack of five guys, and then from there it'll be strategic. So I'm just prepared for both of those options. If it goes quick or if it goes strategic, I'm just trying to prepare for both.
Do you have as much speed as the rest of the guys, or is that like more of your like disadvantage for you?
Like speed, what type? Like end of the race speed?
Yeah, do you have a good closing kick?
I'd say I would say I have a pretty good kick compared to the rest of the guys. I would say it's the kick has gotten me. It's the reason I was third in indoors, and also the reason I was fifth in indoors. So I feel like the kick could be on my side for sure. So that's hopefully I would be able to be with the top group coming in the 800 or 400 meters to go, because I feel like my kick would be the only thing I have on my side at that point.
Are you like at all worried for this race? Do you think that you can bring home another All-American honor?
Um, Not too worried. Um, I feel like the All American is top 8, so I feel like I'll for sure get top 8. All American would be nice to get, but also I guess I'm not really worried. I'm more excited to see how the race is gonna go, and I'm excited to have a great last race as a buff.
So growing up in Hawaii, without any of the competition that like Edward Cheserek had, how does it feel to be with him up there, like on top, when you didn't have all the chances that some of like the best runners in the country have had?
Yeah. Well, I'd say yeah, coming from Kauai, I didn't really pay attention to the mainland and the runners. I kind of just feel like did my own thing and ran against the people in Hawaii, and had a good time racing, and didn't really think much about the mainland until coming out to college out here is when I really saw how fast everyone was, and how how into running they were. Like I thought I was in the running, but for Hawaii I was. Like coming out here, everyone's so serious and so competitive. So it was a whole different playing field, and almost like a different sport kind of. 'Cause coming out here, I wasn't the fastest, since Hawaii they don't the fastest in Hawaii are hard to compete with the fastest in the mainland. So I was pretty slow, and I would see those guys. I'd watch them race, the top guys in the nation, and just be amazed about how quick they were going, and never thought I'd be up there with them. So yeah, after just training hard here in Colorado for a few years, I was slowly getting quicker, and then before I knew it, I was one of those guys racing with the top guys in the nation. So I feel like for sure some of them had an advantage racing against fast guys in high school, but at the same time I feel like I had an advantage just not racing too hard in high school, and then coming out here and just really racing hard.
So, when you grew up in Hawaii, always being on top and like setting records, how did you stay motivated knowing that like that you didn't have any competition?
Yeah, well, I think the motivation came from just the fact that um, I was beating a lot of guys, and the motivation was just biggest motivation was trying to get those records and trying to run quick with um in track and stuff. Cross country was tough in high school, or tougher than college for sure. I don't know why, but in high school I really enjoyed track and setting those records. But then yeah, coming out here with everyone being so much quicker than you, it's almost like it's hard to be motivated since they're so fast, and it's like, oh man, these guys are so much faster. But it just takes it just took patience and trust, trusting my coach, that knowing the workouts he gave and what he was telling me, I just had to trust him that he was right and be patient with it. And uh, after a few years, it paid off.
Was there ever a point in your career where you thought that you were gonna give up?
Um, yeah, there were some points. I don't remember exactly when, but there were just times when I guess there was no motivation there, and sometimes when I just wasn't improving as much as I thought, and it was just hard. Um, and I was thinking maybe running's not for me, but I just knew I had to keep running and hang in there, and good would come. But that was those points never happened much. It was maybe a couple times during college.
So, a lot of us wanted to ask you some questions, but here's one that one of us wanted to ask. How did you deal with the pressure to do well, and when you when you didn't do well, how did you deal with it when your efforts came up a little short?
Like to do well compared to everyone else, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I feel like coming out here in mainland running, for me to be at the be one of the best was not, and it's not something I never thought about. I never thought I would be racing against the top guys in the nation and be one of the top guys. So I really just focused on my team, racing with my team, and focused on having a good time and just having a good time at practice and running with the guys, having a good time racing. And I kind of didn't really focus much on other runners outside my team or any guys from other schools. So yeah, I just kind of focused on that, and that's what kept it fun. And then before I knew it, we were all getting really quick, and then all of a sudden we were all racing against the fast guys. So yeah, if that answers the question.
So, looking back on your college career, what has your mileage been looking like in each of your seasons, including the summer?
Yeah, it's been each. Well, it's not really each season. It's been going up. It's more like each year. Like coming out of high school, didn't do much mileage. Probably, uh, probably around 40 or 45 miles a week. When I was training hard, and once I raced, it went down a lot. I just never really counted miles in high school. I just was out there running and training. Um, but yeah, coming to college, my miles went up a lot. I don't know exactly how they went up. I think maybe 60 miles a week my first year here, around there, 60, 65. Then it went up to 75, 70, and then 85, 90 by the by my junior year. And then my last year, this last summer, it, I took it a lot more serious and really trained hard and got up to. I was up at 100 for a while, for quite a long time, just putting in the miles and getting some base. And yeah, I feel like with the high mileage in college, I don't know about high mileage in high school, but high mileage in college for sure gives you a good base to work off of, and gives you the strength to do really hard workouts, and helps you recover a lot better. So I feel like as my mileage went up, I was able to train harder and race faster.
What's your hardest, your easiest, and your favorite workout?
Hardest, easiest, favorite. Uh, that's a hard one. I would say the hardest workout is probably a nice tempo run. We do it a couple of times. We did a 10-mile tempo run. So just 10 miles quick, really quick, at about I think it's around 5:20, 5:25 pace. I forget exactly. It's been a while, but that was a really brutal one. And that was pretty good. It was a good workout, but it was just extremely hard. But the easiest, I would say, I don't know the easiest. There's a lot of easy ones. My favorite for sure would be probably 400-meter repeats, just around the track once, which I feel like is just so simple and you don't have to think much about it. And especially doing it with a big group of guys is fun because you could trade off reps, and that'd be my favorite for sure.
Wow, that's like my worst one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I feel like in high school for me that was uh that was one of the hardest ones. I But coming here in college, we did a lot longer workouts, so I just got used to the long ones. So then once I did 400s again, they just felt so short.
When you're transitioning into the summer season after your track season, how do you build up a solid baseline mileage system without losing all your speed that's going to be essential for cross country later?
Yeah. Um. Well, after track, I take some time off, usually a couple weeks, and then just I have a mileage goal in mind. Like this last year, the goal was 100 per week, so I spent I would say maybe 5 weeks, about 5 weeks or 6 weeks, just building up to that high mileage. And once I got there, I just stayed tried to stay consistent and hit the same mileage per week for a few months, and then towards the end, once we got closer to cross country season, started adding workouts into into the high mileage. I forget exactly what workouts we were adding in, but just starting off with some slower workouts and slowly making our way to quicker ones. And then as the season came, my miles went down, and then the workouts started getting quicker. So I feel like the high mileage gives you so a base to really work off of, and to really, once I start doing the speed workouts, you have that base from the summer, which really helps out just keeping you anaerobic and anaerobically fit when it comes to the speed stuff. But yeah, I didn't really do much speed workouts in the summer. It was mostly just building up high mileage and getting that base in.
Um, what does your diet look like, and how did you striving for a healthier life lead you to lead you to creating Outbreak Hawaii?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I would say, yeah, my diet it's a lot different. I feel like when I'm here in Colorado and then when I'm back home on Kauai. So I would say, I would say the last 3 years has been a lot different. I stopped. I really stopped trying to stay away from just like frozen foods and stuff that you heat up, and trying to get down to the basics. And yeah, I started cooking more. My big thing is a lot of quinoa and rice and beans and stuff, and trying to get a kind of like a find the simple ingredients, and also find a lot of veg and fruits. And back in Kauai though, when I'm there, there's just so much more fruits and stuff and farmers markets, so it's a lot easier to eat a lot more healthier when I'm over there. But yeah, Outbreak Kauai is just going over to Kauai and knowing all this running spots and stuff. And then people would tell me, they'd be like, "Yeah, I go to Kauai and I don't know where to run," or like, "How do you run more than 5 miles or whatever there?" And it was just strange to me since I knew all the spots. So decided to make that at first to show people where to run and hopefully help people out to either they're visiting or they live there, so they know where to run when they're there. And then it kind of turned into showing people some good restaurants and farmers markets to go to. And then I started adding in what I eat before my runs or after my runs, and just trying to show people how healthy Hawaii is.
So it didn't really start as like you just posting about your healthy life. It was really just about like people contacting you about running, and then it turned into that.
Yeah, because I feel like more people I met on the mainland, and they'd go over there for even vacation or something, and they wouldn't know where to run. They'd say, "Oh, I just run on the side of the highway," and I like never run the side of the highway. So I was like, oh, I guess gotta show people where to run. So I tried to make it. I tried to show them the easiest way I could, the spots to run, and yeah, it just kind of turned into more as I was building it.
So how long has that been going on for?
I think last summer is when it was kind of the idea came and started to go on Google Earth and find my runs and map out the exact mileage. And last summer I did that a lot, and once I found most of my runs, I saw a few I should put up or some new ones, but yeah, once I mapped those out, I started putting them in all together onto like typing them out and stuff, and then decided to design the website for it and tried to make it a really easy website for people to go through and access. So I guess it's been going on almost a year, maybe 9 months.
Okay. So looking into the future, you technically already graduated and you're just trying to finish off your season now. So after it's all done, are you planning on joining a pro track club or what do you have planned for the future?
Yeah, the plans are up in the air right now. I don't know exactly what I'll do, but I'll be back on Kauai for the summer and start training hard there again. But maybe I don't know, either I'll join a pro group or maybe a club or something, or I don't know exactly what I'd be doing, but maybe another option I have is even go back to Hawaii and run there and try to build the running community there and see if I can get that going. But I'd like to run pro, and I know that this last race here in Oregon, that last race in Oregon will really show and determine what I'm going to do in the future. So right now, there's a lot of options. I'm just waiting for my last race to determine it.
Any chance that you'll be trying out the marathon, or are you gonna wait until after you're older and you've lost all your track speed?
Yeah, I don't know when I try the marathon. I want to try it one day. I feel like though after college I'll be doing road races for sure, and maybe I've been thinking about it. Maybe I'll try some half marathons and see how that goes. Maybe even some marathons this year. I don't know, but yeah, if I do that, I like to also keep some speed in me so I could do some track races. But yeah, I don't know when I'd do a marathon, but I want to eventually.
So, what are your after you're finished with all of your running, how do you plan on giving back to the sport? Are you gonna How are you gonna inspire the next generation of runners to like follow what you did?
Yeah. I've been thinking about that. Um, hopefully I'll be in Hawaii and I'll be able to help bring it up over there and help motivate more kids and more adults to run there. I feel like people look at Hawaii and don't think much of it and don't think runners come from Hawaii or don't think it can happen. But I feel like it really could, and I feel like running can do a lot for kids. It could either help them out, physically, or it could even, if they want, it could even take them out of Hawaii for a little bit, like me. But yeah, I eventually want to do something to when I'm older to give back to the sport and hopefully help out people running in Hawaii for sure.
So looking back on your whole life so far, how does it feel to have came to Colorado as a walk-on, not even sure if you're gonna make the team, and then come out as one of the best runners in like Colorado history and in the NCAA?
Yeah, um, going to Colorado, it's not something I ever thought would happen. Going there, I was hoping just, I knew the team was really good, so I was hoping to just run with the team and get some races in and hopefully improve on my PRs. And yeah, um, as the years went on, I kept getting faster and faster, and before I knew it, I was competing with the best in the nation, and running some of the best times CU runners have run, and it's something I never thought would happen. So thinking back on it, it's more than I can ask for sure.
Do you have anybody that you want to thank for helping you to get there?
Uh yeah, I think for sure is my high school coach. His name is Basil Scott. He he's a really smart coach, really smart guy. He knew what he was doing with me in high school, and he knew that once I got to the mainland, the race, that I would improve a lot, and I think he has a big part in that. And also my coaches here at Colorado is like Mark Wetmore, Heather Burrows, and Billy Nelson. They really they know what they're doing, and I get the program that they have really worked with me very well, and I think they helped motivate me and helped train me to be the fastest I could. And also, I guess my parents for always supporting me.